to our viewers, and a very warm welcome to this episode of the Runners Podcast with myself, Rotoholo. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Nita. She has a condition and she is a runner. So she didn't want to let her condition stop her from running, but we will let her do the honors of telling us about her running journey. And we say to you at home, like, subscribe, and share our content with the fellow runners and anyone who might be interested. So morning, Nita, and how are you?
Good morning, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you please kindly introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me this morning.
Yes.
Early morning.
Yeah, no, I usually shoot midday to in the afternoons, but yeah.
Thank you. So my name is Nita, aka the Unicorn. I have a condition called CRPS, Complex Regional Pain Syndrome, and I am a disabled runner that runs with crutches, seeing that I lost the use of my leg about 9 years ago.
Okay. So, and when did you actually start running, and what interested or what caught your attention to come and start running?
I started running only about 3 years ago. For the first 6 years of being diagnosed, I felt very sorry for myself.
And it's understandable, yeah.
And then 3 years ago, I did my first RAD, which is Run Against Dementia. And I decided to do that in respect and dedicating it to my grandmother that's suffering with Alzheimer's.
Okay.
It was my way of going on her journey with her. And after the 30 days, I decided that I can give this a meaning and not get back into bed and feel sorry for myself, but I can actually do something with my situation and motivate people and inspire people, raise money and awareness for different charities, and also in with all that I can be fit again and I can do a sport again and not be confined by my situation.
Yes, I can understand that. And when you started running, what distance did you start with?
I only started with 5 kilometers. The RAD is a run every single day. I run for 30 days.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
So it's I'm now currently on a 64-day run without resting days. So the RAD is a whole month of running, but I only started with 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, and doing 5 kilometer races.
Oh, yes.
And I'm now at 10 kilometer races, and the most that I have run is 15 kilometers.
Congratulations
Thank
on that.
you.
It's not everyone who would, even an able-bodied runner, someone who's able-bodied, they struggle just to complete a 5 and a 10 kilometers. I think you can relate to that.
Absolutely.
And then you started running, and the challenge that you're talking about, the 30-day challenge, when did you do it?
The RID challenge is currently running now again. It's every September we do the 30 days for Alzheimer's and dementia. And then next month I will do 31 days for breast cancer awareness. And then after that I'm doing the Soweto. So it is 64 days without rest.
So, but you started it in 3 years ago?
3 years ago, I started this challenge.
That was your first...
That was my first RID, yes.
And how was it?
It was hard. I was watching the video of my first run for RID, the first week's run, and I was going about 20 minutes per kilometer, going like... putting one crutch in front of the other.
Yeah.
And it was very slow and it was very hard, and I didn't know if I will be able to complete it, and I had days where I was crying and the pain was hard. But as you as a runner know, when it bites hard, and then you cannot stop. Yeah. So the running bug did bite me in that year, 3 years ago, and I have not stopped.
And you completed your 30-day challenge on that year?
I completed 30 days. I did 123 kilometers that year for RAD in 30 days.
Oh,
Last year I did 165 kilometers, and I'm hoping to beat that this year.
Yeah, sure. So this year you are doing 64 days.
Without rest.
Without rest. Did you go for your run this morning?
No, I'm going to go tonight.
Or you're going to do in the afternoon?
Unfortunately, having a life, you can't always choose when to run.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was running in the corridors of the SABC building.
Oh, lovely.
So with life happening and still having to run every single day, you have to sometimes find a creative way of running.
You need to find a sweet spot.
Yes, and then you go. So I've even done a few kilometers while there was thunder, because I run even if there's rain or sunshine or anything except thunder. I don't do thunder. And last year there was rain and thunder, so I completed my run in the house, running around the dining room table.
I see. Just like in COVID, I remember there were guys who completed 90 kilometers just running in and out of their house into the garden and so forth. Oh, so you do that as well?
Yes.
But you need to have a strong mind to complete something whereby you just circling on the same spot.
Absolutely, but the running game is a mind sport anyway, and also being a disabled runner and being in pain, because unfortunately the illness I have is the most painful disease in the world. So I am 24 hours in a lot of pain, and getting up to go and run is a mind game of its own.
So you are 9 years with the disease.
Yes.
How is the pain now compared to 9 years ago? Is it still the same?
It's still the same. It depends on what I'm doing. It does get worse with some activities. It does get a lot worse, where I don't know how I'm going to survive during the day. There's days where it's a bit better, but it's still the same as then. The only difference is I'm not medicated, because I started running and not use all the meds that I was given.
Sure, because I want to actually understand. I know it's a painful disease to have.
Very painful.
And I was wondering how you manage to run with the pain, because I know you must not aggravate the pain.
Yes.
That's one of the things that this one I've read. So they say you must not aggravate the pain so that you can be comfortable. So how do you manage to run without aggravating the pain?
It is all in the mind. It's all in the mind. The pain is there, and I know if I'm going to complete a 10K race today, that tomorrow I will be man down. I know that. I know how it's going to happen. I even know how long it's going to take for me to recover. But it's all in the mind. And also running for a charity and running for a cause, and knowing that I can, even if it's just a little difference that I can make in somebody's life.
Yes.
What I'm doing now is making a difference, and that motivates me not to stop. When I'm at my 7K, because at 7 kilometers I always hit a wall. And my only way of getting over that wall to complete a race is to know that somewhere I'm making a difference in somebody's life, even if it's just with awareness or raising funds or motivating people. People that run past me that say, I was on my way to give up now, but you are doing this, thank you, I'm going to complete this race. That makes it so much worth the pain.
So they get encouraged by seeing you.
Yes.
And by telling you, they are motivating you to actually.
They're actually motivating me.
Yeah, it's they call it what? It's a requited type of love.
Exactly.
That they give you.
And it's a give and take. We give each other love.
And reciprocate. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the road, running with the pure runners at heart, is one of the. It's an experience that you can't explain. The love that you receive from other runners on the road. How can you not finish a race?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to put myself in your situation. But because I'm a runner, I've also struggled to run because of different things. I've got DNFs, which did not finish some of the races because maybe I fell ill also.
Yes.
And have you had that situation where you don't complete your run?
No, I've never not completed a race. Even if I crawl over the finish line,
Wow.
I will finish a race. And also I make sure that I am prepared and know that I need to get a certain time. At the moment, although I'm doing these 64 days of no rest and just running, I know I have the Soweto Marathon on the 3rd of November, which I'm doing the 10K, and I know they have a very strict cutoff line. So I will make sure that I am ready to meet that cutoff line, even if I have to crawl over the finish line on time. I will. So no, I've never not finished a race. Never say never. Seeing that I want to do the 21 to Oceans also in about 3 years, I know it can happen, or anything can happen. I've got crutches breaking on the road. I fall a lot, which makes that I can't go on.
Shame.
But I've never not finished.
That's very good, and inspiring.
Thanks.
So you have never had a DNF, but
no, not yet.
How do you then deal with pain when you are running? Let's say, I know you know how to manage the pain, but had it occurred that in any instance whereby you were running and maybe you hurt yourself or something?
That happens a lot. Just about 3 months ago, I did a run for a charity. It was a virtual run that I did. So luckily it wasn't a race where I had to get to a finish line. But I got stuck in a pothole and I had a very bad fall where I fractured my hand.
Oh, sorry.
So I had to stop the virtual race and complete it another day. But I did complete it at the end of the day, but I completed it with a fractured hand.
Wow,
so it does happen, thank you. But it does happen. Also happens a lot that I break crutches in the middle of a race and I need to get my first to come and get me and come and give me new crutches, because luckily I'm blessed to have 3 pairs of crutches.
Oh yes.
And I'm blessed to have people that fix my crutches and services my crutches. They are called Wheelchairs on the Run, and they do make sure that my crutches are ready for every race day, but they do break. It happens.
Oh, they do break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because I was gonna ask, how often do they break, and do you have do you buy new ones or do you get them repaired, and how often?
It depends which crutches. So I've got crutches that are specifically for me for running, that helps my shoulder not to get so much pain.
Oh, they've got shock absorbers.
They've got shock absorbers on the bottom, because
Lovely.
otherwise I'm going to be in the hospital very soon for a shoulder operation, which we don't want.
Yeah.
So I do have them, but they need to be serviced every week or every second week, depending how much I'm running.
On your frequency, yeah.
Yes, they're actually going in today, hopefully, for a service, because I started the bottom, which we call ferrules, is tearing.
Oh.
So they have to service that for me, and that was on 55 Ks.
Okay.
I need them serviced. My other crutches that I also run with, that I have here today, they can do about 200 kilometers. I have to replace the ferrules every 10 Ks, but the crutch itself will hold about 200 kilometers, then I have to buy new ones.
Oh, so the ferrules you replace every 10K?
Yes.
Which is every second?
Every second day. So I take them in and they put new ferrules on for me, but I don't run with them as much as I run with the other crutches, which the ferrules only need to be replaced about every 50 to 60 Ks.
So the servicing, you say it's sponsored by...
It is sponsored by Wheelchairs on the Run, yes.
And we say thank you to the wheelchair runners, because they are doing a great job. Otherwise, we won't be seeing you on the streets.
Absolutely, because it got a very expensive game. And as you know, running is not that cheap. You need to get shoes and your proteins and your gels and everything. And the crutches became a big part of that expense.
Yeah.
And I have to say, with all my fundraising, no money comes to me. I don't receive any money. It all goes to the charities. So it all comes from our pockets, from my pocket, my husband's pocket, to keep me on the road.
Oh,
so for Wheelchairs on the Run to help me with the crutches is such a big part of keeping me running.
No, we say thank you, a very big thank you
Absolutely.
to them. Yeah, because, as I said, we won't be seeing you on the streets.
Yes.
And in terms of when you go for your run, do you run in a club or do you do solo runs?
I do both. I am very blessed to be part of Run Zone
Yeah.
with Graham.
Yes.
It is such a big honor. I hope that next year they will still have me, because I see the club membership is coming up. It's an honor to be part of Run Zone. So I do run with the club, but I also do a lot of my races during the week. I do it by myself.
Where you do the challenge?
When I do challenges, I do it myself. But I also, on weekends when there's a club run, I go and run the club run, or I do the time trials sometimes. And I've got a lot of friends that love to come and run with the unicorn. We call it running with the unicorn. And we do these clubs where they come 5 o'clock and we go and run for 5 or 10 Ks together, which helps. But I do a lot of my training and running I also do alone.
Tell us about the unicorn.
The unicorn is a strange story. When I started running the RID, I need music when I'm running, because it's not just the nice pumping up of music, but it also helps me with the rhythm of putting down my crutches.
Oh, yeah.
So I put it down on the rhythm.
Which it's like you're dancing to a rhythm.
Exactly. So that's my guide. But also to control my heartbeat, and it's a whole thing. So I have music in my ears when I'm running. And when I started the RID, I didn't have these fancy earpods that you can run with. The only thing I had was these big earphones with a unicorn horn on it. And I was running with that, and the people at RID started joking when they saw me, and they said, well, we just had a unicorn sighting. So it started there, but also unicorn is something that is rare. You don't see it. It's something you never see. And me running with CRPS, with one leg, with my crutches, with all the pain, it's a unicorn. It's something that you don't really see.
Interesting story.
And also unicorn, uni means one. I'm running with one leg. So when I had to go public with the unicorn and make it a public entity, and I had to find a name, because I didn't want to go as Nita. I wanted to form something around this. The unicorn just came up. So
lovely. So running with the unicorn. So when you say you sometimes do unicorn runs, is it like how many people would do a unicorn run?
It depends on the day. We usually do it in the week, so not everybody is able to come out in the week, and we try to accommodate, but there can between 2 people to 10 people come to a unicorn run, depending on. This weekend on Sunday, we did a unicorn run at the Cradle, and it was only myself and 2 of my friends.
Oh, lovely.
And we did a 11K run there in the Cradle, my favorite place to run.
Shoo!
It's so beautiful.
I hope you were not doing those hills at the Cradle.
We did do the hills. We did do the hills, because we're training for Chamberlain's that's coming up. That's also all hills, and then the Soweto. So no, we did hills.
You have got such a strong mind.
Well, if you run with Ranson and Graham, you know hills are what we do.
They serve hills for fun.
Exactly.
And I usually tell people that running is, I call it the painful fun.
Absolutely.
So it's fun, but sometimes it's painful. And we go for that pain and we mix it with fun.
It is punishment self-inflicted.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yes.
And then when you do your 5 kilometer, what is your usual finishing time, or what is your personal best in your 5 kilometers and then your 10 kilometers?
It depends on what run I'm doing. If I'm just training, I don't go for speed as much as distance or keeping a constant. I'm really focusing at the moment to keep a constant speed. But if I do a race, then I absolutely go for time. I think my 5K best is 42 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember now. And then my 10K best is 1 hour 41.
Not bad at all.
Thank you.
You are earmarking Soweto. What time do you... Because the 21 cutoff is it 3:30?
I think so. The cutoff for the 10 is on the dot 2 hours.
Yes, I know.
At the moment, I'm a bit not there yet. I was very sick, and the fractured hand threw me back a bit. which is not an excuse, but I'm not at my best at the moment, hoping to get there. I've got an amazing strength trainer and everybody that's helping me to get there. But I'm hoping for an hour 40.
And you're talking about strength training, because I thought I will ask the questions in a certain order, but yeah. What do you do for your strength training?
I've got well, running itself is strength training, so my running crutches is very heavy.
Yes.
To get the shocks on and everything, so they're very, very heavy. And I've got a trainer now that's doing strength training with me. We're doing weights, we're doing stretching bands, we're doing balls, and she has adapted all the exercises for me now to put anything on this leg and to save this leg for running. So yeah, we do a lot of weights, a lot of stretch bands, a lot of core training in the chair, which is very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing a lot of strength training at the moment.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's quite intriguing and mind-boggling too. I'm trying to think and put myself in your situation.
It was very difficult to find somebody that was able to take the knowledge that they know of strength training and adapt it to my situation, because I can't do sit-ups and planks with my leg. I can do it, but it's not having the same effect that it will have for an able-bodied. So it was very difficult to find somebody that can adapt it to my needs and my abilities. So very blessed to have found somebody, but it's hard work.
So are they charging you, or they just doing?
No, I'm paying her for her services, which is just fair. It's her work, and I'm really I admire for what she was trying to achieve with me, and already we see a change.
And how long have you started doing
It's
this?
a month now that she's helping me. Before that, I was trying to do it myself.
And have you seen the benefits of
Absolutely.
training?
My range is already much better. My strength is getting better, and I can pick up the crutch much faster already.
Oh, I see. Because I saw you running at the run zone, and I saw you cruising there. To be quite frank.
But you saw me at my wall.
No, I didn't quite even note or scrutinize to check. I thought you just running with normal crutches.
Okay, yeah.
And then the effect that like they have on your shoulders. How much negative effect do they have?
There's definitely a negative effect. I can feel my shoulders after every race. It hurts a bit more. Luckily with the strength training, because we're not just training my muscles, we're training the tendons also to keep up, and that's gonna slow down the process of the hurt in my shoulders and also speed up my recovery. But I do need a lot of protein and a lot of supplements to keep my shoulders stronger, because I can feel after every race my shoulders are in a lot of pain.
Any specific type of supplements or?
Whatever I can find. So I do a lot of USN's protein. I like USN protein. It works for me. They have an amazing night protein that I can drink at night, and it helps me to sleep a little bit better and works while I'm sleeping. Yes, while I'm recovering. So I do love my USN. I do a lot of recovery physics from 32 GI. I do, what is that, Plus? I love Plus.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw them, they were at runs.
Yeah, I saw them
Plus,
at
they are, their physics is amazing, from the magnesium fizzy up to your recovery. That helps me so much to recover. And then I have a beer after each race.
Wow. You know, there's this running club, they call themselves a running club with a drinking problem.
Oh my goodness. Sounds
so
like
after each race, you go to their gazebo, they are having a beer. But I've heard of people saying a beer is good after a run.
It is one of the fastest way for me to recover is having just one beer.
Yeah.
Just one beer, and then I go to my fizzies and my rehydrate. And
So the beer is the first one.
beer is my first one. When I get over that finish line, I want my beer.
Yeah. And does he give you your beer?
Yes, I
you might
have
say,
my
no,
first.
today I'm giving you water.
And then he will have a divorce case on hands. No, he makes sure that there's
That's on
a
the
beer.
lighter note of things, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have your beer, then you have your supplements
Yes,
thereafter.
I am. Before I got diagnosed, before I lost the use of my leg, I was training for the 94.7 bike race.
Oh, you were a cyclist?
I was a cyclist.
Okay.
Well, not a pro cyclist, but I did cycling also for charities.
Okay.
And during that training, I learned from the best, and they all just got me into, after training, you drink a beer, and I found that I have less muscle aches and less cramping with the beer.
So you took this from your cycling days?
From my cycling days, and I'm
brought
putting
it to
it.
riding.
Yes, and now I'm much wiser because I know now. Have your beer because it's gonna help, but also you need your rehydrate, you need your protein, you need your gels. There's so much more that you need to be successful in this.
Have you had any sponsor that would sponsor your supplements?
Not yet, maybe soon, hopefully. That will be amazing.
I mean, you're doing a good job and you're doing it for charity. So why not? I'm just throwing my 2 cents worth to say.
Absolutely.
Maybe someone would be interested in sponsoring you, especially with the supplements. Yeah.
It will be really amazing because it will cut on the costs. As you know, the shoes, I actually need new shoes.
Yeah.
And the clothes itself, and so, but my mindset is also, I'm not doing this for myself. So even if I never get a sponsor or never get anybody to help me financially through this, I'm not doing that for myself or for the gain of what I can gain. I'm doing this for the charity that I'm running for. So there's a lot. I think there's about 14 charities during the year that I run for.
During the 3 years?
During the 3 years. So every month and every day, every run I dedicate to a charity. Even if it's not for fundraising, it is for awareness. Every run, I do not run if it's not dedicated to a charity.
Maybe just take us through the charities as to how you run for charity, which ones is raising you are raising awareness with, and then which are the ones that you run for, like for donations.
For donations. If I'm going to go through all the charities, we're going to sit here for 5 hours. So I'm going to just go through some of them.
Maybe a synopsis.
Just a little short version of it. So at the moment, I am running for RAD, Run Against Dementia, which is for dementia and Alzheimer's. I'm doing awareness as well as fundraising. I'm asking people to donate into Alzheimer's South Africa's bank account, which I post with every post that I make on TikTok and Facebook. So they donate to them. They either do a one-time donation or people can donate me for every kilometer I'm going to do and calculate it by the 30th and see how much did I do, and you donate that amount to Alzheimer's South Africa.
So the donations, are you appealing to individuals or from corporates?
Both. Anybody that feels it on their heart to donate, even if it's a corporation or a company or an individual that's going through the same thing with Alzheimer's and dementia in the family or friends, even if it's 50 Rand or 100 Rand, or if you donate per kilometer, if I'm going to do 200 kilometers and you said I'm going to pay 1 Rand per kilometer, it does not matter because every cent makes a difference. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. But Monday I also did, because a lot of charities overlap each other sometimes. So on Monday I ran EASD, which was just awareness for diabetes, but it was a worldwide virtual challenge that I did for diabetes. Then the whole of October will be for I Love Boobies, which is a charity that works with breast cancer survivors as well as doing tests for people for free to make sure that you don't have breast cancer, and if you do, to offer support to go further. So the whole of October will be for them. I do have a link which you can go into and make a donation for them.
Yeah, we will put the
I'll
link
send you everything, yes.
on our description.
Please. Or go on Unicorn and see. Which I do is I don't, if I'm running this month for RAD, I don't put the information for the next charity on yet, because I feel RAD needs the attention this month. Next month it's your turn. So I only post the charity's banking details or links in the month that I'm running for you. So next month will be then I Love Boobies. Then also I do a lot of gender-based violence runs, which is very close to my heart. I think that's something that we need to do and bring light to more than just...
Yeah, lovely. Because I don't know if you've heard or seen the story of
about Rebecca.
Of Rebecca that was...
I did a run for Rebecca in the name, or I dedicated my run to Rebecca. I can't remember how much I ran for her, but I did do a dedication to her when I did the run, because that was just horrific, and it was awesome.
It's horrific because I even saw on the news that... I think is it in France somewhere where they've even named the stadium after?
Yes, absolutely. So, because she's a hero, but you don't have to be a hero to be remembered for this horrible thing. So
no, it's
I
very
absolutely did a run for her, and I dedicated it to Rebecca. It really hit me hard.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that, and then I'm also doing the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which I will be running for. I also did, on the 6th, I did the casual day run, because I am one of the casual day champions. Casual days for the National Council for Disabled People. Then I do a run for CRPS for my own illness. And that
do come back home.
Absolutely. That is only for awareness.
Yes.
I don't do fundraising for that. I'm just trying to create
awareness.
It's
just an awareness,
awareness for CRPS. I do a lot of runs for diabetes. I do a run for Parkinson's. There's
Parkinson's.
In the beginning of year I did a month for Parkinson's. So I think there's about 14 charities. I did 4 months for the rhinos. Which I did one run each month for the rhinos.
Is it to save the rhinos because of decreasing populations due to those people who are hunting?
So the money that I raised, or the money that came in, so I paid to do the race. So my money that I did, it was virtual, goes to train the guards or the people that look after the rhinos. It's the money goes for them to train them to look after the rhinos. So I did that run. There's so many. Many I run for that we're gonna sit here forever. But
no, at least we've scratched the surface.
It's the surface.
We can relate.
But if I do a fundraiser with the awareness, I do post either a link or the banking details of that race that I'm doing. But as I said, if I'm doing a gender-based violence run now, I'm not going to post the banking details for diabetes or for the next one. I try to keep the spotlight on for what I'm running now for.
And then someone who is a viewer who wants to donate might ask themselves, are you on Facebook, or where can they find you on the socials?
So I'm on Facebook, and now I'm on TikTok, but I'm old, so I'm still trying to figure out how TikTok works. Then when I get that, I will do Instagram. But I've got a Facebook and I've got TikTok, and my Facebook is the Unicorn, TikTok is the Unicorn. You can go on there. My email address is on TikTok itself. And you can WhatsApp me, but please don't call. Only WhatsApps, because it's very, if I'm running or with my daughter, I can't really answer.
No, I've tried calling you. I know.
Phone calls is very difficult.
Please WhatsApp her. Yes. Stick to what she's saying.
Stick to WhatsApp or email. But I do have Facebook and I do have TikTok, and I do post, most days I post my run. Or some motivational something to keep people motivated, because it's not about me, it's about the people outside. just a little story about somebody that came to me over the weekend. She just got diagnosed with some illness that the oxygen in her legs is not constant or something.
Yeah.
And the doctor told her to, she has to start walking every day, a certain amount of steps. But it hurts her a lot. It hurts, the walking hurts. And she came to me on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, and she came to me and she said she didn't know how to do this. She didn't know how to go through the pain of walking every day.
Yeah.
And she remembered about me and went to look at my videos, and now she's walking every day and doing her steps and getting healthy again. And
wow.
Yeah,
What's a wow? Because sometimes you may think when you see someone running and say, they are bored. But like little do you know that those people can touch lives and can change people's lives for the better.
Absolutely. And it's an honor for me to be able to motivate people. You have days when
I'm also motivated.
Thank you.
I've been running for 22 years, believe me, but I'm motivated.
Can see the proof. So there's days where I feel I don't know how to do it. I don't know how I'm going to get up to date to run.
Yeah.
There's days where I wonder, am I making a difference? When I'm doing a run for a charity and only 10 Rand came in and not 10,000 Rand, I feel, am I really doing what I should be doing? Is this worth it? But then stuff like this happens, and I know I'm on the right path.
These journeys can be quite painful.
It is.
Because when you are alone on the road, no one is there, and certain things or certain you go through certain emotions, and sometimes you would say, why don't I just give up
and sit in front of the TV? It's easier.
And then you don't have a website?
I do not have a website yet.
Okay.
Maybe that will come in the future.
Okay.
But I think at the moment Facebook and TikTok is a place where I can post regular videos, and website you can't really put all that in. I can put a lot of info on Facebook and TikTok. My story can be there, and people can actually see me running, how I run, my journey and everything. So yes, I'm sticking to Facebook and TikTok, but it's not written in stone. Instagram will be following somewhere, and maybe a website.
And I think with Instagram, this social media, as like with our generation, we are playing catch up, because the younger ones, they just, it comes and they are just.
When I heard I'm old because I like Facebook, I was like, really?
Yeah, they say that. So, but how much following do you have on Facebook and TikTok?
Not a lot yet. TikTok, I think I've got just under 1,700, so it's still building. It's very new. Facebook, I've got just under 400 people, but there's a lot of people following me on my private Facebook. That's actually Unicorn Facebook followers. So before I started the Unicorn Facebook, people were climbing onto my private Facebook to see what I'm doing. And I'm trying to migrate all of them now. So, and it's only recently that I started the Unicorn's own Facebook page, because I'm a bit shy. And I didn't want everybody to see what I'm doing. But knowing that I'm doing it for a charity, and charities.
Even the brand that you are trying to grow, it's fair that you treat it as a brand, not as a personal.
Absolutely, Unicorn is a brand, and we have to follow the branding, the route for branding it, and keeping the heart in it. Because I don't want it to just become the unicorn. The heart of the unicorn is to stick with it.
And then just last one on the charities. When you raise funds for charities, are you privy to how much you have raised?
Not really, and I try to not ask, because I'm doing the running. They can do the finance part and that. I'm just doing my running and doing my part. Sometimes I do know. With Boobies I knew last year, I raised, I think, 1,700, which is not much, but it was able to help 4 people to get scans.
1,700.
Yes.
So imagine what 17,000
absolutely
what can do.
Yes. So I know I did that, but I try not to get involved with the finance part because that's not what I am for. I want to raise funds for you. I'm doing my best part. Also, if I know that money is not coming in, I become negative.
Oh, so it pains you okay.
Yes, so I distance myself from the money part, and that's
you just focus on the hard work.
Yes.
And then I think something that we haven't done justice to is the disease itself. Okay, do you mind elaborating just a little bit so that people can understand? I know sometimes, like when I heard it for the first time, I went on Google quickly,
yes.
I checked what it meant, and I just, like when I saw that it comes with a lot of pain,
Yes.
somehow I was taken aback, but yeah. Please elaborate.
CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome, is a very rare neurological disease. Neurological meaning it comes from the brain. After injuring myself, my neurons did not realize that my bone is not broken anymore, or the tendon is not torn anymore. So what happens is any stimulation, sound stimulation, touch stimulation, even smell, anything, my neurons that goes to my leg sees as pain.
Oh.
So if you touch my leg, it feels like somebody's cutting my leg off with a butter knife. No touch. This is just for protection because I fall so much and I've got total muscle dystrophy in this leg. So if I fall, I break. Also, it protects me from wind because if the wind blows on it, I'm going to scream. Only 7% in the whole world has the disease in different levels.
Yeah.
So some people don't lose function of the limb like I did. I did lose my function. I can't wiggle my toes. I can't do this with my foot. There's no life in it except the pain. If you do touch me, I don't know where you're touching me. I just feel it hurts.
Can you feel a sense of someone touching?
I can feel the pain, like extreme excruciating pain. But I don't know if you're touching me on the top or on my feet. It's somewhere in there, but I can feel the pain. So only 7% in the world has the disease. There's not a lot of research being done about it, and there's no cure, and they don't know why it happens. They don't know if it's something that's dormant in your body and then you get injured and then it starts, or if it's trauma related, or there's no research on that. They can't cure it. They can only treat the symptoms, which is pain.
Yeah.
And what happens then you're on all the horrible meds. I've been on Oxycontin, Oxycodone, morphine, Lyrica.
I only know morphine.
The list is this long of all the medication that I was on. I've even been put into an induced coma to put ketamine in my body to a very high level, and none of it worked for me. I know there's some people that their pain does get less with medication. Mine did not. Mine got worse. And also with all the treatments, the blocks that they tried to put in my body, the ketamine infusion, it all caused the pain or the illness to spread. So it has spread to the whole right side of my body.
Ouch.
Although my hand and everything is still mobile.
No, thank God.
The pain is my whole right side.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very scary disease. They call it the suicide illness.
Yeah.
Because people do unlive themselves because of the pain level, and also because doctors don't believe us.
They think you maybe you're dramatic or?
Yes, or you just creating the pain to get the meds, to get high, or to get attention. Because you can't diagnose it with a scan or with the X-ray.
Oh, how does it get diagnosed?
The doctors do different things. My doctor, I'm so happy that I got to the right doctor, because people do spend years without being diagnosed. My doctor that I went to did his thesis in university about CRPS. He was ancient old, because also in one of the wars, he was the doctor treating CRPS. He immediately saw that the discoloration of my leg, the sense of no touch, immobility, the muscle dystrophy, all the symptoms, he immediately knew this is CRPS. Because it's so, the combination of symptoms is so rare that it can only be CRPS. Stuff like my toenails not growing, and then one day it all grows at the same time, or hair's not growing. The color, the cold touch, but the color is blue or red, or the swelling. So immediately he saw that it was CRPS. But there's doctors that don't know about the illness, so they don't know how to diagnose it.
So it's a specialist.
It's absolutely a specialist, yes.
And financial wise, if you're not on medical aid, what are your chances of?
Well, I'm not on medical aid, and I've had to treat this without medical aid for a very long time. I stopped all medications now, so I don't need I don't go to the doctors. I made a decision for myself that being on Oxycontin and oxycodone and morphine and Lyrica and ketamine, it damaged other stuff in my body. It made my liver weak. It made my kidneys hurt. It made my head off. I couldn't think.
Because the liver and the kidneys, they go through a lot when you take medication.
So I'm not doing all that at the moment. I'm doing alternative healings. But there is people that still do all the medical healing, all the medications and stuff. I went to the pain clinic at one of our state hospitals, which was an experience in itself to go there. I'm not going to name names, but it's in the news. But fortunately for me, there was a very good pain doctor, but she's not there anymore. So they don't have that anymore. But there was a very good pain doctor at that hospital. So I did do the state hospital. There are one or two doctors in Gauteng that do help or treat CRPS, but it is very, very, very expensive. Just to get your first appointment is between 2,500 to 5,000 rand. So unfortunately, like anything in our country, when it comes to medical, you have to pay.
No, for sure. I can imagine. And you were on medication at some point, and did you say you came off medication?
The first 6 years I was on all these meds.
So ever since you started running, you decided to do away with them?
Yes, absolutely.
And when you were on medication, like from what I can gather, you were always sick of different...
Always sick, always in bed. Feeling sorry for myself, very emotional. No, it's not worth it.
And I can imagine your family.
Absolutely. I've got a little girl. She's 40 now. She's not so little anymore. But having a family, having a daughter, and I was a single mom at that time. When I got diagnosed, I was a single mom. Being a single mom with a girl and being heavily medicated was just... It was not good.
It was traumatic for her as well.
Absolutely.
And you say you were in bed all the time, feeling sorry for yourself. You can imagine what she was feeling for.
Absolutely.
And what she thought the world is.
Yes, absolutely.
Her outlook of the world.
Yeah. So I still get days where I can't get out of bed because of pain. But I have a very, very big structure at home, a strong structure now at home that helps me to get out. And I'm doing, as I said, alternative healing, which is not medication-based, it's alternative. The running helps my mind. And I think if your mind is healthy, you can handle anything that your body throws at you.
A strong mind conquers most of our challenges.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear, especially when you say running helps you mentally. Because people... You know, when we tell people that running is a mental game and it helps, some don't believe.
No, it's very mental. Getting over the finish line, getting over because we all have our wall. Mine is at 7. Getting over 7 Ks, that is a mental. It's not my body that's tired. It's my mind. The wall has nothing to do with my body. That wall is my mind.
And you know what? Now that you're mentioning that when you get to 7... you hit a wall. I wish you everything of the best for Soweto 21. Because it's going to be...
I'm doing the 10.
Oh, you're doing it? I thought you were doing 21 as well. Oh, it's 2 oceans that you're doing.
I want to do the 2 oceans
that you
21.
want to do 21.
Yes.
So because that will be 7 times 3.
Yes, I know. but I will be fully prepared when I'm going to do it. It is only going to be in about 2 to 3 years. I know I'm not ready. I'm not going to push myself to get ready for that.
Please don't push yourself.
No, then I'm going to be disappointed.
You're doing the most. With the 5 and the 10, you're doing the most.
Thank you. No, I'm giving myself 2 to 3 years to do the 2 Oceans 21. But I really want to do it. It's my bucket list. Is to do the 21. Not the marathon one, but the full marathon.
So the 21 will be your ceiling.
I think that will be my ceiling. I'm going to focus on that. We never know. When I do 21, I will maybe feel like, okay, let's go further. Let's push it a little bit further.
I'm afraid because this running back is not, it's not a good one.
You know.
And people who are the non-runners actually do not have a clue as to why are these people killing themselves like this.
Absolutely.
Because it's the running bug.
It is the running bug. You know, when you start running, when you have to get up at 4, you think, what is my life choices? What am I doing? And then you get to the starting line and you're all hyped up and you're excited. And then you had your 5-7, you feel like, I'm dying, I'm never doing this again. And then you get over the finish line and you're like, okay, when is the next one?
Yeah.
That's the bug.
That's the irony of running. And then, can you share some of your memorable moments in running?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many, but...
Just the highlights.
The people I meet.
Maybe even the lowlights, if there are any.
The people I meet is absolutely one of my top highlights. The good people that I meet on the road, the people that come to support me, the people that's standing on the finish line, my family that's standing at the finish line, my daughter screaming. That's absolutely my highlight. But the people I meet, I even, because of running, I'm playing basketball now also.
You play basketball?
Yes. There's a guy that they call themselves the King Solomon Basketball Academy. And because I was running past them training one day, and he came to me and he said, he stopped me and he said, please come and talk to my kids, because he takes children off the streets or from bad homes and teach them basketball, which I think is very amazing. And if there's any donations I can get to him, that will be just absolutely my highlight of everything. And I went to his kids and I started talking to them, and then I started playing basketball with them, and we had a run together. And I'm also now on Heritage Day. I'm going to go with them to do a basketball clinic.
Where about?
At the Randburg basketball.
Oh, at the Randburg, okay.
So we're going to play basketball. And I think that was also stuff like that. When I'm running and people come to me and say, wow, please come and talk to the kids, or you inspire me, that is my highlight. Every single time people stop me and tell me, well done. There's no better feeling in the world.
You know, my understanding to them talking to you, or those being the highlights, is that when they got touched by seeing what you're doing, all the efforts that you put in, and they get motivated, and they think, if I get motivated, how about those who like my group at my corner?
Yes.
How much more can they draw from this lady?
No, that's such a big highlight for me, is people stopping me and being nice to me, and telling me thank you, or saying, wow, you made. I
hope you guys are listening, and when you see Nita on the road, shout for Nita.
Yes,
and
very loud.
Give her the love.
And take photos and put it on Facebook, and just come and say hi. It helps me, and it helps you, and it helps everybody. That's absolutely a highlight.
And not only they must take pictures, they must also
tag.
They must also follow you on your socials, because they, like, by them following you, you get to grow, and your work get to be exposed to a wider audience than it is now.
Absolutely. And then I have to say, one of my biggest highlights also, and that's apart from the charities that I get involved with, because that touches me every single time. The charities that I get involved with, they're all close to my heart. But apart from that, my biggest highlight was joining Run Zone and meeting the Run Zone family and them pushing me to do my first 10K. In the February of this year, the Run Zone Run, the first one, not the one that we did now, the first Run Zone Run.
Yeah, the one in February.
Yes, the one that was my first 10K.
Wow.
And they pushed me. Graham and the whole team at Run Zone pushed me to do my first 10K.
Congratulations, and it was brave of you to take the advice and the risk.
Yeah. It was a slow one, but it was definitely for me a highlight to getting from just 5K runs to doing a 10K run.
Because you stepped out of your comfort zone, which was your bed.
Absolutely.
And the pain. And you went to do 5. That was the first step, getting out of your comfort zone. And getting to 10, I think you doubled the effort there.
Thank you. Yeah.
And what is your advice to disabled people who would wish to maybe start and
take it slow. Don't rush yourself, and don't push your body to a place where you cannot go yet. And we all have our own pain. If your pain does not allow you to run, do something.
Find something.
Find something. You don't have to run to make a difference. You can take photos, or you can make jewelry, or just get out of bed and do something. But don't push your body to a place where you cannot go. But get out of bed. Get out of bed. I know it's not easy. I know it's one of the, and I get teared up when I say that. It's not easy, and it's never ever going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Get up.
And how do you manage to balance your run, work, life situation, assuming that you are employed?
I am not working at the moment. I'm doing odd jobs, and I'm a singer. And I'm working on my husband's nerves.
You are a singer. You must
I'm a singer. Yes, I'm a singer.
But how do you balance your life?
It is all about balance, and it's also putting your priorities first. My family will always, always, always be first. And luckily, I have a family that supports me in doing this crazy journey. But it's prioritizing. And then, because this is my journey, I expect them to be there for me, and I expect them to support me. But if they
of which I can see he does. He's here. He's our audience today.
So I prioritize it, and if I know that I'm not going to be able to run during the day, I either go run in the morning. I've even done a run 10 o'clock at night. So I do my run. I don't skip. When I say I'm not going to skip, I do not skip, but I do prioritize them first. I do prioritize.
Lovely.
My music is a big thing, because it does also help with my healing journey. But I do prioritize which comes first and second. Then I do run, even if I run 10 o'clock.
I know they say music is a universal language.
Absolutely.
But our universal language is running.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So maybe you'll sing for us when we do the close. Just think about something that you can sing for us, even if it's a minute, it's 30 seconds. Let's just hear what we can try.
And then so that's how you balance your
prioritizing, putting what's first, and never losing sight of that. It's my running. The running journey is my journey. Although they are involved, it's my journey, and I can't put it above them. When family comes first, my family comes first,
because they are your support system.
They're my support system. If I don't support them, how can they support me?
How will they support you? Because it's as I mentioned, it's not like because you've got a condition. It's not like now you expect unrequited love. They must love me, and I don't need to love them, and so forth. And if you don't mind, maybe invading your privacy a little bit. And when you are at home, how do you manage to do your chores with your foot? Because I mean, you cannot get some it's quite delicate.
Yes.
So I don't just maybe so that we can understand.
Well, I take it easy. So the house is sometimes a mess, and the washing is not always folded.
Yeah.
The laundry that needs to be folded is sometimes as high as Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
But the main thing was for me to accept that I cannot do it all at the same time. I had to accept it, and unfortunately my family, or fortunately they had to accept it too, that I can't always do it all.
Yeah.
And it's still okay. It's okay not to be able to do it all. When I do the laundry, or I do cooking, or I wash the floors, I do it in segments.
Yeah.
So today I know I have to get up and wash the floors.
Yes.
Tomorrow I have to finish the laundry. But when I feel I can't go on, it's important for me to stop.
Yeah.
And realize tomorrow is another day. I will just do it tomorrow, and it's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
And something that just came to mind. And how do you manage with your dogs? Because I know dogs can jump all over you. So don't they get how do they? Or they're already trained that they cannot come close to the.
Animals are amazing. Although they are wild and carefree, they are amazing when they know mommy is not feeling well.
Oh yeah.
They can feel it. So they sometimes come lie on top of me, and then I want to scream from the pain, but it's out of love. But animals have an amazing empathy to know when mommy's not doing well, or to know leave mommy's foot alone. You can jump on the other leg, but just leave mommy's.
Really?
They do. They really do. And we're training one of our dogs now to run with me, which is a challenge. But the other 3 already did it. They run with me sometimes. And they also know not to get into the way of the crutches. So no, animals are, they are healing. Yeah. So they are healing. When I'm in bed in the afternoon and I'm not feeling well and they're all lying there next to me, it's a very healing feeling.
Yeah, no. I know we can go on and on about everything, but I would like to thank you for taking your time to, drive all the way to come and have a conversation with me and share your private life and your private space and your ailment with the world.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
not
having
feeling
me.
sorry for yourself.
No.
Yeah.
That'll do in the privacy of my own home, in my room sometimes. And then I get up and just, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's important to know, that it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay not to be okay.
It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to make the world not okay because you're not okay.
Yeah.
The world doesn't need to suffer because of you.
It doesn't owe you anything.
No.
There's another favorite statement that I say, the life doesn't take us that serious, and yet we take it serious.
Yes.
So sometimes we need to just not take life serious and do what our hearts wish.
We need to stop surviving and start living.
Yeah. Profound. And thank you. I can't thank you enough.
To you. And then I just want to say, what's your excuse? That's the unicorn's motto. What's your excuse?
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
No,
you don't have an excuse.
I'll steal it now and then, here and there. You know what the unicorns say?
What's your excuse? Yes.
And thank you, and all the best for the challenges that you are on, and all the milestones that you want to reach, be it the 10, be it the 21, in whatever time. Take your time, no pressure. Don't succumb to any pressure. Yes. And keep on shining.
Thank you for having me. It was really a pleasure, and I'm glad we can get the message out there that you can do anything that you put your heart to.
No, definitely. I'm
and start running. It's a mind game, and it's good for you.
And we say to our viewers back at home, I hope you've enjoyed this session or this interview or this conversation with Nita, and I say to you, like, subscribe, share our content so that we can grow this lovely platform together. And we say to you, Sharp, sharp.
Yes, thank you so much.
Can you sing one song? If you can.
A cappella.
It's fine. Anything.
All of these lines across my face tell you a story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I've got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything if you've got no one to tell them to. And it's true, I belong to you.
You can clap as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nita. Thank you
so much.
And, yeah.
Have a great day.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And enjoy your run.